So I'm originally from Cape Verde, and I was born in Lisbon.
Okay.
So Moreno comes from like the Moors, like backgrounds like from the Moors, and Moreno basically means brown skin. Tan.
How many fights have you had?
That's a good question. I've had 38.
38?
Yeah.
Okay.
38 fights. Yeah.
You're experienced in the game.
I've always felt pulled towards martial arts. So I remember being quite young and play fighting with my brothers and kicking their ass, man. And I would copy what I'd see in like Bruce Lee films and like actually have pretty decent form like when I was kicking and punching. One thing about me, I'd always been very technical. And because of all the kung fu movies I watched and things, I've always appreciated the art of it and the form.
Yeah.
And one thing that people used to notice about me was that I was very technical, very proficient with my moves and things.
You have your own boxing gym?
Yes, I have. Moreno Boxing.
Moreno Boxing?
Moreno Boxing.
Where is it?
It's in Dalston, Hackney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out.
You guys need to come down and check it out, man.
So you're on Right to Fight. Shout out Right to Fight. Shout out CEO Jesse Musa.
Yes.
So you're on the card.
Yeah.
So the big card. Where are you from? It's a huge card. Yeah, it's one of the biggest cards you've ever been to.
I would say so.
Right, welcome back to the Allow Bro podcast. On today's episode, we have a boxing fanatic. We have Moreno Boxing.
Come on, champ.
Moreno, tell us a little bit about yourself. Did I pronounce your name right? Moreno.
Moreno, yeah. So I'm originally from Cape Verde, and I was born in Lisbon.
Okay.
So Moreno comes from like the Moors, like backgrounds like from the Moors, and Moreno basically means brown skin or tan.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's sick. Is that your actual first name?
That's my surname.
Oh, so
My first name Jose, and then middle name's Carlos, and then surname Moreno. But Moreno just stuck. So my close friends would call me Carlos. Officially, like a teacher or like a doctor, someone would call me Jose, and then people like within the boxing circle call me Moreno.
Okay.
So I'm known by three, depending how well you know me, is what you're gonna call me.
We know that Moreno.
You'll get there, man. You'll go through the process.
So Moreno, you're a boxer?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm a boxer, man.
How many fights have you had?
That's a good question. I've had 38.
38?
Yeah.
Okay.
38 fights, yeah.
You're experienced in the game, yeah?
Yeah, I've been boxing. I started, my first fight was in 2008. 2007.
Oh, that's a long
my
time.
first fight, yeah.
You've been
Yeah.
boxing ages.
Ages, man. I started as a teenager.
How many of them fights were professional?
I had mostly amateurs. I've had so far in the semi-pros three fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 fights, yeah.
Yeah, because we actually saw you fight.
Yeah.
How many weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks.
Was that a semi-pro battle?
Pretty much. It's an interesting one because the guy actually was a top amateur and he actually had four pro fights.
Yeah.
But he stopped boxing pro. I don't know if it's quite some time now, and he decided to go into the semi-pro ranks.
Okay.
So I consider it kind of like a pro bout, but it was only 3 rounds.
Yeah.
If it was like 5 rounds, then maybe. Yeah.
Okay. And you have your own boxing gym?
Yes, I have. Moreno Boxing.
Moreno Boxing.
Moreno Boxing.
Where is it?
It's in Dalston, Hackney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out.
You guys need to come down and check it out, man.
I was
to the
saying
training
this.
session.
Yeah, you did.
Been around so many boxes now, I actually feel like I want to train a little bit, get fit and
Hey, come down, man. Come get some work. Take you on the pads.
Definitely.
Get a bit of bag work.
Is that your full-time job?
Yeah, so full-time job. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I'm sole director of the company, founder. And I just pretty much like got my staff members, clientele, and I've just been doing that for quite some time now. I've started officially launched the company in 2015.
Okay. Long time. So what made you go into boxing then? Considering you've done it for so long time.
Actually, Maydu is correct here. So I just felt pulled. I've always felt pulled towards martial arts. So I remember being quite young and play fighting with my brothers and kicking their ass, man. And like, and I'd copy what I'd see in like Bruce Lee films and like actually have pretty decent form like when I was kicking and punching. And I just kind of felt really drawn to fighting. Initially, I didn't understand why. I felt like I probably just had too much energy, or maybe I was just like naughty. But then when I started becoming aware of the philosophy of what it takes to be a fighter, what you learn from it, the discipline, etc., I was really drawn to that, and I felt like I needed that in my life because there was a time that I wasn't living the right way, doing certain, we all been teenagers and stuff. So I needed to kind of stay out of like trouble, stay out of the roads and things like this. I wouldn't say it just kind of
deterred you.
Yeah, it just woke me up. Woke me up, made me more conscious and conscientious. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, man.
And basically, you've had numerous amount of fights.
Yeah, man.
So you can tell us a little bit about your record.
So my record is 38 fights. I think 29 or 30 wins. Something like that. Yeah,
that's a decent record.
Like I had my first fight was crazy. Like I just kind of I don't even remember what happened. I just remember the referee going 1, 2, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, and the guy's getting a count. I don't even know where to go to. My coach is like, go to the neutral corner. And it's just a blur. And then from there, I just started settling into my boxing. One thing about me, I'd always been very technical. And because of all the kung fu movies I watched and things, I've always appreciated the art of it and the form. And one thing that people used to notice about me was that I was very technical, very proficient with my moves and things.
Are you southpaw or orthodox?
I'm orthodox, but sometimes I get caught in a southpaw position, and I'm okay with that. Like I tend to have success with that as well. It happened by accident, and I just kind of like
cool.
was okay with it, so I can do both. Yeah.
So when you say you're very proficient and technical, and then you mentioned about you growing up watching Bruce Lee and stuff like that. How come you never chose martial arts or Muay Thai?
Yeah, good question.
That's a very good question. I actually did karate as well, so it's like that's something probably a lot of people don't know. I actually did practice full contact karate.
Oh, nice.
I think I was probably 20, 21, something like that.
Okay.
And it was called Kyokushinkai. And it was originated by the one that I was practicing was Masayama karate, which was originated by Masayama, who was a Japanese not instructor but master.
Okay.
And with karate they had, I think it was like 12 to 13 masters that had different versions of karate. And then they kind of like opened schools, and then a lot of people began to learn. I like the concept because I did do a bit of kendo as well, which is like the samurai stick fighting. But I actually like karate because karate actually means empty hand. So it's about fighting.
I never knew that.
Yeah, karate, empty hand. So it's about having no weapon. And even if your opponent has a weapon, it's the idea of disarming them, using that against them or pacifying a situation, but doing it with an empty hand. And I like this quote that I saw in a kung fu movie where the master said to the student, if you're always angry and you always have a tight fist, you can't grasp anything. You're just going to be closed heart. But once you open your hand, you can grasp as many things as you.
Oh, I love that.
You can actually grasp the entire world.
Okay.
So I like the idea of like empty hand, it's like formless.
I didn't know that's what it meant.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So you like a little bit of wisdom too?
I'm all for the wisdom. I say wisdom first, boxing second. So I do it more because of the development that goes on,
the state of
in
mind.
the mind. The boxing for me, there's been times I didn't really enjoy it. Now I've learned to kind of enjoy it a lot more than before, but the discipline was horrible when the first 10 years of boxing, and they say it takes 3,000 hours to become a master, and
something,
that's the equivalent to 10 years. So if you think I've been boxing for 21 years and I've got a business around
21?
it. 21 years,
21 years.
Yeah.
And you started when you were 7.
Yeah.
But you look young, man.
Yeah, I look young, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I started.
Flat don't crack, man.
I thought you was my age.
15, pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah, my first fight was at 18, but I started training at 15. but I quickly learned that I didn't have the discipline that was necessary, because I would kind of like get into bad habits, go partying, etc., then come to the gym and be exhausted within a round and get beaten up. And I realized very quickly that regardless how much talent I had, I just didn't have the discipline to be able to channel that. So I quickly had to give up the life of like partying and being out and about and stuff.
Discipline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's
man.
great.
That's tough, man.
So you've had 32 fights, did you say?
38.
38 fights. You've won
29, 30.
Yeah.
29, 30. Have you had any KOs? Any knockouts?
I haven't. This is a crazy one because I'm fighting soon, so I don't really like. I've had one knockout, but I had to do it because like I went on an international tournament and it was against Cyprus, Greece, Scotland. So we turn up and I quickly noticed that the English fighters were getting robbed. Like they were not being given the win, even though they were performing really well.
Yeah.
So I made a decision. That was the first time in my career that I made the decision to actually go and get the stoppage, to go and knock my opponent out. It was a conscious decision.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I said, I'm actually going to do it. I said it in the van with all the fighters and everyone laughed as if to say like, oh, you've never knocked anyone out. How are you going to do this? I said, well, let me not say any more. But in my head, I was thinking I've got no choice because I didn't fly all the way here to not go home with a gold medal.
Yeah.
So yeah, the round started. I flew straight at this guy and just battered him. There was blood everywhere. They just said, nope.
Oh, damn.
I've had enough.
It's my Moreno time.
But since then, but I don't even know if I should be saying this, but just for a little bit of transparency, I fight according to what my opponent does. So I go as much as I need to get the victory. But
so you're really technical then.
So yeah, well,
that's
unfortunately,
very
you're going to see some things.
Yeah.
But if you can't take me to that level, and I'm like, yeah, like.
So you're not a violent boxer. You're a technical.
I can be whatever I need to be to win.
Okay.
So
you just adjust like you
exactly,
said
it
to
really
the opponent,
depends on the situation. So I reckon
You're very calculated.
Yeah, for my 30 wins, I haven't had to like do certain things.
Yeah,
I've been okay.
So you need to fight bigger people.
I don't think size is the
Not
issue.
bigger, but better people. You need them challenges.
Yeah,
Or you need a match that's just as technical.
Yeah.
Because then that would probably really
that might not make a difference, because the thing is, if you're technical,
yeah,
I can very quickly turn into an animal and fuck technique. We're gonna go to war.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I'm
true.
coming after you.
That's true.
And the
It's
funny
that
thing,
opposite, isn't it?
in that mentality, in that super aggressive state, I actually am able to hold on to my technique automatically because of so many years of practice. So I don't actually lose composure as much. And the times that I do lose composure is actually on purpose, because if I become disorganized, I want you to become disorganized. Once I've infected you with being disorganized, I can then tidy up and create this contrast. So I can manipulate a lot of things in the ring.
No, that's
Nice. Got the left hand in the ring, like. So you're on Right to Fight. Shout out Right to Fight. Shout out CEO Jesse, what's up?
Yes.
And you're great friends with Armstrong.
Yes.
Shout out
Shout out Mr. Armstrong Nation. Good afternoon.
So you're on the card.
Yeah.
So it's a big card. It's a very big card. It's a huge
Yeah,
card.
it's a good card. Yeah.
It's one of the biggest cards you've ever been on.
Yeah, I would say so.
There's some big fighters on there.
Yeah.
Next month.
I don't really like pay too much attention to like what card I'm on, or like anything like that. I don't.
But the atmosphere and all. Does that ever affect you?
I mean, considering I don't know if you know as well, I'm a professional coach. So I actually have a pro coach's license, and I've cornered like fighters in massive fights, like in bigger arenas. So I've actually.
How you've dealt with
Yeah, I've been on Sky Sports. I've walked up to the ring, been in the corner. I've seen the blood. I've seen stuff that you can't see on the cameras. Like when you're close up, you see the blood on the ring, and you see like how messy it is. And you're like, it looks so good on TV, but man, this is brutal. Like this is like
you're up there in person.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's I wouldn't say it would phase me like or anything like that, if that's. But in terms of am I happy to be on it? Of course. Yeah. Very happy. Yeah. Like I want to be around the fighters, kind of sense the energy, see what it's like to be around the champion, like Shane Mosley, Victor Ortiz. See how they prep, see how cool and collected they are.
Yeah.
I feel like I can absorb a lot into my game as well, into my mind state. In terms of like being on the platform in terms of like the entertainment side of it, of course, man. Like, you know, it's part of the game. Like, I want to entertain.
It's exciting.
I want to go there, look good. I'm gonna go there, show my skills, show the level. And I always say to myself, I fight to attain victory. I don't fight to avoid defeat. Like, so yeah, man.
To attain victory.
Yeah,
Okay,
I fight for
like
victory,
that.
not to avoid defeat, but to gain victory. So I will go. I want to take the victory, you know,
So
in style as well.
I wanted to ask you, do you like the idea behind the right to fight?
Yes.
The image of the rhino and stuff. It's a great story.
Okay, so since you want to kind of like compartmentalize it a bit, so specifically, are we talking about the philosophy with regards to how they treat the fighters and things?
Yeah.
So on that note, I would say, yeah, like philosophically, it makes a lot of sense. I do feel that if people do feel they want to compete on a certain platform and they want to be rewarded fairly as well, and they want to have the coverage that's necessary to help them progress as athletes, as entertainers, as boxers, I think they do have the right to do that. I do also want to add that boxing is to me is a very serious art, and it's a discipline. So for people who do feel they do have a right to be on these platforms, they just have to put in the work, and the opportunity will come.
Yeah.
Everybody has a right to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to do the work.
Gotta do the work. I love the slogan to it, the right to fight.
Yeah.
It's
got a ring to it,
it's got a good meaning to it. I love it.
Right.
And I bet you're excited to fight on it too.
And you know what? So what comes up for me with that is like the right to fight is so much bigger than just fighting in the ring. You know, when we think about boxing, we always just think about the boxers, but I see it as like this huge organism of like, you know, you've got the cornermen, you've got the trainers, you've got the promoters, managers, athletes, you've got the doctors behind the scene, you know, and I'm always grateful to these people that make it possible for us to have these shows, you know, that ensure our safety as fighters. So shout out.
Yeah, people watching. I mean, obviously you see cornermen, you see the fighters in the ring, but they don't understand what goes in there.
Sometimes,
how much goes into it.
I don't understand all of it, even myself.
Yeah, we understand it to a certain level, but we're not really, like a fight like you, for example, you know way more because you're a fighter that's involved with all of it. So
you're like the Matrix.
Do you get what I'm saying? That makes sense. Like people watching on TV, they don't see all of that goes behind big events like that. You know what I mean?
I get it though. You're not gonna like, you know, it's not entertaining, is it? Like,
of course,
they're like checking what the nurses and the ambulance people are doing, and guys in the background,
who's filling up the water bottle,
punch drunk and just talking nonsense. Like, who wants to watch that? We want to see a fight.
Definitely. So tell us about your opponent. Sorry,
my opponent.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. Well, my opponent. Oh, mate, I don't know anything, man. I don't know anything about this opponent, bro. Like,
no?
I actually don't. Like,
you know his name?
I love the honesty.
I don't even remember his name. Like, I swear, like, being so honest. It's a fight, man. Just like any other fight, bro. Like,
you gonna win?
That's funny.
I'm definitely gonna win. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
I have zero doubt that I'm gonna win. The question for me is not whether I'm gonna win. It's the performance that I'm more focused on. So for me, it's not a case of like just going in there and just winning the fight. For me, it's going in there and like truly from the heart giving what I know I can give, and like being prepared for anything. So regardless what level he is, I want him to bring his best, and I'm ready for his best. And if it's enough, then so be it. We're gonna go to town, we're gonna work. If it's not enough, then it's unfortunate for him. So yeah.
That level of confidence.
Yeah, can't help but, after all the work I've done in my career, I can't help but be confident.
So do you want to make your name a big name on this card here, that in future you can have more fights, or let's say better fights and better fighters?
Yeah, I feel like that journey is inevitable. Like, as long as I stay focused, as long as I keep doing the work that I'm doing and stay present-minded when I'm in that ring and do the job, I don't need to worry about like anything, because I'm confident that with my skill level and ability, like any card would be lucky to have me compete on their show. So like, I'm not worried about anything.
I've got a question for you. So you obviously started boxing when you was young and having these fights and stuff, and then 2015 you said you opened your own gym, right? So would you say you prefer training people, or would you prefer fighting?
Yeah,
I mean, it might be a case of you like both, but if you had to choose one to do for the rest of your life, well, obviously you couldn't do it when you was 80, let's say. Well, hopefully you can, but what gives you more of a, you going in that ring and having that fight, or you being in the gym and training people how to box?
I think the two, I would argue that the two for me are not mutually exclusive, yeah. And they feed into each other, and it's one and the same. So I could fight someone, and in that fight I'm educating them. Like,
true, yeah.
Do you know? So
right,
so I'm like, bang, 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 maybe you should keep your hands up. Do you know what I mean? But the only difference is when they're in my gym, before I hit them, I'll probably say, like, look, these 3 punches are coming your way. You might want to block them, and show them how to block it, and then before I do it. But in competition, I can't do that. I have to punish them first, and then they have to go away, watch the video, and they have to learn from it. So it's the same thing, like the same way that I analyze an opponent and kind of assess their strengths and weaknesses and break them down, is the same way that I would teach someone by doing the same, analyzing whoever comes into my gym, seeing their strengths and weaknesses. And say, the only difference is in a fight, I educate them by the stick, and in the gym, I educate with the carrot. You know?
Yeah, no, that's good. I respect that. That's fair enough.
Okay. Go one question.
Yeah.
What do you think of the influence of boxing?
Which one? Who?
In general, overall. Because there's a lot of influencer boxers that are now on the right to fight. There's some that are on misfits. There's even somewhere in America, you said.
Yeah,
I think it's a rapidly growing.
I mean, you've been boxing way before any of that thing was even a thing.
Yeah, so like,
I mean, I've cornered a fighter on the card. It was Coach Richard versus JMX, and I cornered Coach Richard, and that was on the undercard of Logan Paul.
Oh, JMX, I think I've watched that one.
Yeah. So from then till now, there's been a lot of progress. What do I think about? Initially, I have to say, when it first started, it kind of like, I was a bit dismissive about it. I was like, it's not real boxing, and you must admit some of the fights were just scandalous. Like, it was just awful. But I was always curious about it. I followed KSI and people like that.
Some of them are really good.
Yeah, I think now it's the lines have been blurred. So now I just saw highlights of Jake Paul's last fight against Chavez, and that was amazing. Like, he put on a very good performance, and he's looking very dangerous. And to think that he's ranked in the WBC now, it's pretty good. It's very good. So I do take it a lot more serious now. And like myself, coming from the amateur background and being an amateur champion, and then coming into the influencer scene, it says something. And then even my last opponent, Julio, he was one of the top amateur fighters as well. Him coming into the scene says something as well. Obviously, like, because of our background and training as amateurs, we're not coming to play. Like, we're actually coming to do justice to the sport. And I feel that's just going to take it to a whole other level as well.
Yeah, of course.
So I like it. Don't know if it's me being older now and just kind of thinking, hey, why not? What's the harm? But I like it, man. I'm all for competition. Let's do it.
Message for the audience.
Message for the audience.
Come on, drop some of that Moreno wisdom. That Moreno morale.
The Moreno morale. What about, what do you want me to say, man? Like, who do you want me to address it to? Or
just to the people listening.
Yeah, just to the people listening. Also, let the people know that you don't train adults, you train kids.
All right, listen. First thing, the most important thing is make sure you come to Moreno Boxing. Yeah. If not, at least check out the website, morenoboxing.co.uk. Like you said, we train kids. We have women's only classes. We have boxing classes for everyone. We love boxing. We study the sport all the time. Even my trainers that work at the gym, I say to them, look, make sure you research drills every week, learn new stuff. switch up your playlists and whatnot. We're very passionate about what we do. And yeah, listen, thank you for watching this interview. I'm fighting on the 25th of July at the O2 Arena. Make sure you get your tickets, okay?
Definitely.
These guys are going to put my link
100%.
in the description, okay? Make sure you hit that button and come and watch me put on a masterclass.
Definitely.
On the right to fight, 25th of July, at the O2 Indigo. Catch Moreno.
Where's my soap, man? Where's my soap?
That's one.
Where's my soap, man?
You
First
gotta get
rule of
that.
Fight Club, give me my soap.
I just wanted to say as well, I respect the fact you open a gym. You know why? Because there's not, for kids especially, there's no youth clubs no more.
Yeah.
There's no nothing for kids no more. That's why kids are out here doing stupid stuff, especially in London, Hackney. We all know Hackney's not the greatest of areas for people to grow up in, but that's proper respect.
So essentially, you're a superhero.
Yeah, like you're proper helping.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that's proper stuff, man. Appreciate that, man.
You're like a superhero when you're outside the gym as well, man.
It's true though. My mum tried to get a gym opened. We're from West London, so not far from here. My mum tried to get a gym opened in my local area. And instead of them using the money to have a gym, they made a knitting club.
His eyes.
Yeah, bro.
He just didn't say anything.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of kids running away on the estate that we're from, doing all types of stuff because they don't have nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's true.
Bro, like, I'll be honest with you, like, a lot of people are like, oh, how did you open a gym? It was genuine grind, like, because I started, like, literally from nothing. I was training people in the parks, in the local parks, and, like, buying, like, hand wraps and stuff from the shop, trying to sell it at a bit of a markup, saving every penny I was making. I managed to rent out a sports hall in a university, and I was paying like a rental fee for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, luckily the persistence paid off. More and more people started attending. And then, like, I literally saved enough to buy a gym, to buy a business that was already a gym, and I bought it off the shareholders and stuff. That was
That's
all
awesome,
just
man.
literally like from hard work. A lot of people are like, oh, did you get any grants? No, I was a little bit jealous of community clubs and stuff that got grants. But one of the things that I noticed, the difference between me and a lot of these other businesses that a lot of them have failed as well, is that it's built an incredible level of resilience, resourcefulness as well, knowing how to invest and how to create profits and reinvest that back in, and having good communications and good reports of customers, and making sure that your team's really disciplined. All of that stuff, I believe, probably I wouldn't have cultivated as much inner work professionally and also like personally, that allowed me to become that person that can have these things.
Yeah.
Had it been easy for me, had someone just written a check and said, look, here you go, I probably would have been like, yeah, money does grow on trees, man.
I probably respect that, and I appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, man.
Shedding light.
Cool.
On
It took a while, didn't it? For full transparency, yeah. So I was supposed to be here like a couple of weeks ago, was it?
2-3 weeks ago.
And listen, the training for that listen, shout out my previous opponent, Chavez. You guys saw that fight.
Yeah, we saw that.
This guy was very good.
He was supposed
He's
to
on
come
the
down
card as
today.
well.
Yeah, he was supposed to come down today, but
He's working. I offered him a lift. He said he's working.
Yeah.
But he's come down to the gym and we've been sparring and working together.
Oh, wow.
And my first opponent, Manisi, he was down yesterday and we sparred. So anyone that I fight, I keep my friendships. We talk every day.
I love that community, bro.
100%, yeah. And shout out to Chavez. But I've, like, going back to the interview thing, yeah, like that, the training for the fight was so challenging, yeah, that I actually like woke up and I was like, damn, I was supposed to be on a podcast. Like it was so,
It's okay, bro.
I just needed to take a nap. I thought it was going to be 20 minutes here. The next thing you know,
that's the worst thing to
get
do,
up,
isn't
yeah. And I'm seeing allow it, bruv.
Yeah, literally. Allow it, bro.
I'm seeing allow it, bruv. I was like, what do they want? I check it and they're saying, where are you? I'm like, I'm in bed, bro. Like, it took me a while, like 10 minutes to realize like I was supposed
That's
to be
okay,
here.
man.
But I made it. And I'm glad I didn't fall asleep because this couch is very comfy. And I was,
So yeah, that's it, man. That's a
Thank
wrap,
you
man.
for coming on.
Thank you for tuning in to the Art Bro podcast. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll drop all the links to his boxing gym, his socials, and the O2 Indigo fight next month.
Make sure you check out my YouTube channel, Moreno Boxing. Been there since
And that too, we'll link
1998.
Shout out Moreno Boxing. Thank you for watching.
My brother.
Peace.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Safe, man.
Appreciate it.